Hey besties, welcome or welcome back. Let's head over to Dollar Tree and pick up some Dollar Tree toys and see what kind of hacks we can create with those. Let's get started. I've got 21 tumbling tower blocks and a picture frame I picked up on sale from IKEA. You could use any frame you want. Then I'm going to use my Rust-Oleum linen white chalk paint and Waverly Ballet slipper chalk paint. We're going to remove the backing and the inside of the picture frame. We do not need the plexiglass or the little white frame thing. We're just going to use the backing. I've got this little contact paper, removable contact paper from the Target dollar spot, and I'm just going to figure out how much I need to cover that whole back piece of the picture frame. I thought this was a nice subdued color for like maybe Valentine's or spring. So I'm just going to remove the backing slowly and start at one end and then just kind of flatten it as I go. And then to make sure that it's really, sitting nicely on the backing, I'm going to take my brayer that I got on Amazon. If you're interested, it's down in my Amazon store, which is always in the description box if you need anything. I'm going to take a rotary cutting tool and I'm just going to cut off that excess all the way around that frame backing. And there it is, nice and clean. I've also got this piece of cardboard that I had in my stash. I'm going to kind of flat out that center part where it folds. And I'm going to use this as the basis for creating a heart with my tumbling tower blocks. I'm looking at a picture I saw where somebody created one. And so you're just using rows of 3 and then a couple rows that have less in them. And you just stack them right next to each other. I want to see how it's going to look. And now I'm adding the 2 sides, and whatever you do the middle, and then whatever you do on one side, you do on the other. So it's actually pretty easy. This is a great time to screenshot or freeze this frame, so you can have this if you need it. I'm going to hot glue each piece. I'm going to start on one side. That way I can push them snug up against each other. And now I'm going to do the rest of that side, and now it's adhered, and there's the whole thing. I'm going to sand it. I'm going to paint the whole thing white. I'm going to dry it with my heat tool from Amazon. And then I'm going to use a mister and I'm going to spray it with a little water. I'm going to use the ballet slipper to create an ombre effect. So I'll do solid ballet slipper on the top. In the middle, I'll do a mixture of the white and the ballet slipper, and then the bottom will already be white. Then I'm going to spray the Krylon clear glaze over the top so that it's nice and sealed. I'm going to take my X-Acto knife and just cut securely all around the entire shape of the heart, and then I'll have a nice backing for it, and I can hot glue that directly to the picture frame backing, and that way it's going to stay in one piece no matter what. Isn't that gorgeous? I am loving how this turned out, and it's not like in your face hot pink or red or anything. It's just very subdued. I'm going to replace the backing, and that's it. Let me know what you think. For this DIY, I'm going to use this little mini traffic cone from the toy section. I've got some scrap fabric, and this was actually like a dish towel. I think I got that at Dollar General. Some lace and a peony from Dollar Tree, and then I've got this little ball that comes from the paddle game from Dollar Tree, and these little heart like wood stickers. I'm going to just sand a little bit around that whole cone because I want the paint to stick. I'm going to use the Rust-Oleum linen white chalk paint to cover the whole thing as a base coat, dry it off. And then I'm going to take the ballet slipper and I'm going to go the whole base and then part way up the side. And I did seal that with some Krylon clear glaze. I'm going to take a piece of craft paper. I'm going to hot glue the very bottom and just attach that to the craft paper so that kind of finishes off the bottom and it looks very neat. I like doing that. Then I'm going to take my Beacon fabric tack glue and I'm just going to glue around that very base of the cone. And then I'm going to glue my scrap fabric. I've got 2 pieces. I'm going to glue it all the way around, as you can see here, and I just cut off any excess. I'm going to take that lace, I'm going to cut a piece and hot glue it all the way around the base. I've got a mop head from the Dollar Tree. I'm going to pull out some of the strands and I'm going to use a piece of tape and I'm just going to attach them, and that's going to become the beard of what this is, which is a gnome. I'm going to trim the beard. And then I'm going to use a dog brush and kind of just loosen the bottom part of those mop head strands so they're a little bit looser. And then I'm going to put some hot glue all across the top so they stay in place. And then I'll put hot glue on the cone and put that whole thing right on there in one piece and then trim off the excess if it's too wide. But this sure does make it easier than doing each piece alone. I'm going to take that little paddle ball and I'm just going to use an X-Acto knife and cut it in half. And what a perfect gnome nose. I'm going to hot glue that right in place. And then I'm going to take this dish towel and just kind of fold it up, and I'm going to make a little hat out of it. And you can do this as big or small as you like. I want the top to fold over, so that's kind of what I had in mind. I cut out the shape, and now I'm going to hot glue the base of it like a hem. And then I'm also going to attach it right to the top of the gnome's nose and all the way around, and I'll just kind of wrap it around itself. And if I need to trim as I go or fold it in just to make it look good. And I wanted to stuff it a little, so I used a couple pieces of the mop head just to stick it right in there before I closed it up, and that gave it a little more shape and it wasn't so floppy. Now I'm going to hot glue the very top and fold it over, and instead of a pom-pom, I'm going to use a peony for the very top, and I think that is so beautiful. And I added some little eucalyptus greenery as well. I took the little wooden hearts, put them for his feet, and added some more greenery. I think he's so cute. Let me know what you think. I've got these paddle ball sets from the Dollar Tree, and I've got these rub-on transfers from the Dollar Tree that are gorgeous, and some more of that contact paper from the Target Dollar Spot. I took off the balls and the string from the little paddle balls, and I overlapped them and shaped a heart, and then I traced a line where I wanted to cut off the excess. I'm using my X-Acto knife to do that. You just score it and keep going over it, and then it will break apart. And then I'm going to trim any little rough edges, and look how nicely that fits together. Now I just need to draw the point at the bottom and score and cut that, and look at that. It's a perfect heart. I'm going to put some hot glue right in the center, attach them so it'll stay in place, and then on the back I'm going to put hot glue over the seam and then brush off the excess with my little spatula. Do the same thing on the other side, use the spatula again, and then I will also sand over the top to make it as flat as possible. I need to paint that before I put the contact paper, but I'm going to cut my piece because I just want to see how much I need. I'm going to paint that white to cover up the purple because it would show through that contact paper. Then I'm going to go ahead and apply the contact paper starting at one side and just slowly pulling the backing out as I rub across. And I'll use my brayer just to make sure that it stays nice and flat. I'm going to cut little slits around the edges with the excess part because that'll help it to lay better around the heart. So I'm just going to start folding each little piece over to the back side. Once that's done, I do want to finish off some craft paper, hot glue it, and add a little hanger in the back. I'm going to take the rub-on transfers from Dollar Tree. This one's gorgeous. I'm going to place it at an angle, and I'm just going to lay it over the top. And you could use a credit card, a wooden scraper, a Cricut tool, whatever. I'm just using my little Cricut scraper thingy, and I'm going to start pulling it off. And if you see that something isn't coming off, just go back over that spot and then pull. And it looks like I did this really fast, but I didn't. I went very slowly, and I kept going over it till I knew that it was all adhering. And this left me with a little piece, so I'm just going to burnish on with my hand the piece that I did put on, and then I'm going to take the other one and kind of decide how I want it to sit and just lay that portion, and then I'm going to put the backing underneath so it doesn't stick to my table. Did the exact same thing, and look how gorgeous that is. I've got my mop head again, and I'm just going to hot glue a couple strands all the way around to give it like a nice clean edge. I'm going to take the peonies again, and I'm just going to take one, cut it off, and put it up in that upper left-hand corner and add some little fern pieces that I cut to that. And I just think this one is gorgeous. Let me know what you think about this one. I've got this Cyclone Flyer toy from the Dollar Tree, my little mop head, and some white and sage green colored yarn from the Dollar Tree, the peonies again, and I'm going to take strands from the mop head, and there's 3 different sizes of the little discs, so I'm going to wrap the mop head around 2 of them, the smallest one and the largest one, and then I'm going to take the middle size one and I'm going to double up the white and sage and wrap it around so you see it like stripes. I'm going to take the little stick that comes with it, and I'm going to wrap the bottom with the mop head and the top with the sage green yarn. Then I'm going to take 3 peonies and their leaves, and I'm going to trim them and cut them down and stick them right in the center of each of those discs, easy for me to say, using hot glue. And they stay very nice because of the mop head and the yarn, and that covers up that little piece of plastic that was exposed. Once all 3 of those are set, I'm going to take the smallest one and hot glue that to the top, then the medium one, and then the largest, kind of right down a row. So it's like a little wall hanging that has these peonies on it. And when I did the sage green yarn, I actually created a little hanger out of it and then wrapped it around so it was nice and secure. I'm just going to attach all 3 of these to the stick. Now I know the hot glue is probably more than enough for this, but what I ended up doing was turning it over and taking some white yarn and just wrapping it around each one of those discs to the little stick. That way it's extra secure and you can't even see it because it just blends right in. So I just tie a knot and then trim off the back. And literally that is all there is to this one. It was so easy, just using a little Dollar Tree toy. I just can't believe how cute these little toy DIY hacks came out. Just use a little imagination and try something different and see what you can make. I really enjoyed doing this. I hope you guys enjoyed it too. Thank you so much for watching. I sure hope you enjoyed this video. I definitely enjoyed making it. I want you to know that you are truly a blessing to me. If you enjoyed this video, I've got another one right here on the screen. I hope you will click on that next, and if you do, I will see you there. Until then, bye.